Hi, how's everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. I just finished a homework lesson from my trainer and our group. We had a pretty good group meeting here on Monday, and we just went through a bunch of things. Just about training and fitness and food and our past relationship with it, what got us to where we are and why we're in this group in the first place, and why we need to seek things out, and what we've learned, and just kind of how we've grown. And he had pretty interesting excuse me he had some pretty interesting outlooks on it, and said to just be honest with yourself. And obviously I think that's the most important, is to be just totally open and raw and honest with your total and utter relationship with the whole bit. Like, I can be honest, it was just nothing. It was just never a thing in my household growing up. The gym, going to the gym after work, before work, things like that. Just, and that's okay. There's, if that's all right. But I had wonders and questions, and I didn't really know how to ask as well. I don't know if that's a male thing. It could be. I don't know if that's my family's thing. It could be. I don't know if that's just a people thing. And it could be that too. But I know that for a while I was scared to ask questions, maybe. Too proud, maybe. Nervous about how someone was going to look at me, maybe. Maybe a little bit of all those things. But, I thought that, a little bit of research, I can do that. And going to the gym, no problem. A little bit of research on my end, and then I can do that, and I can look like them. And in the end, I think that you can. You have to be very driven. You have to be very kind of on your own ass. And you can read all the books. You can do all the research. You can put together a pretty decent workout plan. It's all there. Everything that is there. Nowadays, you have like ChatGPT, amongst other things. AI has come a long way. So, excuse me. It can be done, but at the same time, there's people out there and resources out there that can help make your journey easier. When I say easier, I just mean like it can be more comfortable. Maybe someone that speaks your language. Maybe you're one of those guys that you've heard the hockey lingo that's on like Letterkenny and Shoresy and shows like that. We've all met a person that kind of talks in that lingo, or maybe they're football orientated sports that way. So you might find somebody that connects with you based on those sorts of things. Maybe you like music, like going to concerts. You reflect on things with music, with concerts, with things like that, and you got somebody that just knows how to fire you over a workout matched with a playlist that's just gonna kick your ass and make you just want to stay in there and bang steel together and lift things up that are heavy and put them back down again, and then bring your butt to the kitchen and meal prep while this next set of playlists are going on. Like, there are resources and people out there that'll make your journey easier. Because if you don't know, and you're just going to go ahead and trust in I don't know how to say it, but trust in, it's not no one's real fault, but trust in the doctors and everything. Like, when I was growing up, I had a sore back, and the doctor told me that I had to lose 50 pounds. Excuse me, I had to lose 50 pounds that would help my back. Wasn't wrong. 100% correct. But then he handed me this food pyramid. This is the way you're supposed to eat, and red meat was like on the tip of the pyramid. You're not supposed to eat it very much. And things like Fruit Loops were on the bottom of the pyramid. They were good, healthy choices. Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes. Doctors are useful. Let's not get that twisted. But they are taught to find the alien thing that you're dealing with and nuke it out of there with meds, cut it out of there with surgery. And if you talk to a doctor that's honest with themselves and then honest with you, they spend like 8 hours. And again, I've never gone to school, so I don't know this for sure, but they spend like 8 hours on nutrition. Like they don't know the human body and the gut biome and the genome of the biome and the goods and the bads of fitness and whatnot. That's why they're probably not the best to ask for certain things like that, and why you should lean into the resources that are out there. They are out there, and those people that are trying to do this stuff and help people, they enjoy helping people, and they studied the hell out of it, and why eating more protein and carnivore diets is good for your weight loss versus why veganism isn't so good unless you eat this type of vegan food, because if you're just relying on, I don't want to hurt animals, so I'm going to have this Beyond Meat burger filled with seed oils and all this other crap. Like it's interesting, and it's worth an ask. I spent many a year not certain of what and how to do things. I just assumed fat-free meant good, and in some cases that is good. But in some cases you need the fat, right? I was told that red meat was going to give me cancer. I was told that sugar was not the enemy. Like, some of these things are wild. So I want to go through a couple of things, if you'll bear with me, but we went through a couple of things, 18 questions, just to 19, I guess, to be honest with yourself and to answer as honestly as you can from before you started your fitness journey. Question 1 was, my body and my health are... I answered this one wrong. I see. I answered this one as like today. I answered as my favorite project, but I'll answer it with you guys honestly, and I'll rewrite this. But my body and my health are, when I was a younger me, my body and my health were and are just, my body and my health was just kind of second fiddle. I'm here for a good time. My relationship with food has been toxic at best. I am an emotional eater. I like eating my feelings, whether they're sad or they're happy or you name it. And that comes with kind of being a bit of a addict, so to speak. And food's right in there. It's it's the tastiest drug. You get a mouth pleasure, and it's awesome. 3, my relationship with exercise has been non-existent. And 4, I was taught that weight loss is, done in the gym or by being active in sports. The way I saw people in my family approach health was believing the food pyramid, or getting in and on fad diets. Weight Watchers, watch the Lemon Fast Challenge, juicing, and usually they would set themselves up for a really heavy refeed meal, always on weigh-in day, but after the weigh-ins were completed. And I think my sister said it best just the other day. She was saying she remembers when she was at her peak physical, top notch, and she said, because I packed a bunch of my food to baseball games and a weekend away, and packed all my own foods and whatnot, and she said, well, it makes sense, and it's the best way to go, because sacrifice one weekend and one meal just for a little bit of mouth pleasure, and you're battling for like a whole week just to take that back away. Growing up, I believed that being fit meant being in the gym for hours, or being rich enough to be able to hire a cook and a personal trainer. The rules that I thought I had to follow to lose weight were, I thought you had to be hitting the gym hard 2 to 3 times a day. The consequences of breaking these rules were either, when I did start going to the gym and didn't have much of a clue, the consequences of breaking these rules were to give up for a couple of days and try to start again on Monday, and sometimes not at all. I felt like I wasn't good enough when I walked into a gym and seen a bunch of fit people working out, or I definitely felt not good enough when we'd be at the lake or at the beach and I'd take my shirt off and I was embarrassed of myself. I felt overwhelmed by fitness when the first time I decided to make the big shift and I wanted to get after this and try and get ahead of it. So one of the first times I walked into the gym, I stayed scared and stayed up on the treadmill and walked. And I'm pretty sure I, finished 20 minutes later and I walked out. My biggest frustration with my body has been having a large belly and thinking that there was just no way I was ever going to overcome it. The thing I used to tell myself about why I can't lose weight is that I always told myself I was a big-boned kid, so it just wasn't meant to be. I was never going to be in the 100-pound division, because I was always big-boned and had big rib cage and you name it. I'm in the 100s now. The biggest fear I have about changing my body is, again, this is all past tense before I started this. That's how I'm supposed to answer this. So, the biggest fear I have about changing my body is that it won't work and that I'll just continue to disappoint myself. The pain that I've carried around my weight is that there's always been an attempt followed by a failure to commit, followed by an excuse, which in the end is disappointment. 15, I have avoided taking action because if you don't start, you'll never disappoint. set the bar low enough and you can never, ever disappoint yourself. I wish I had learned earlier that fitness is built in the kitchen. It's done in front of the oven, stove, prepping your meals out, weighing things, understanding your body, and now with Matt, understanding macros, but caloric intake versus deficit. And then also, once you work up the courage and want to build that into your routine, people inside of a gym, 99% of them are amazing human beings that were where you are at one point in their life. And they're more than willing to help you with spotting, with showing you how a piece of equipment works. Maybe they have a technique of lifting they can show you. But 99% of these people are amazing. Amazing human beings that have already done some hard work. I feel stuck when I want to do something that is going against the grain comparatively to the people that are around me. I can say this honestly. I wanted to go to the gym so many times. I wanted to be the early riser that wakes up and has a coffee and watches the sunrise. Again, I think a sunrise is earned and sunsets are easy. So I wanted to be that person. My friends wanted to be drinkers and smokers, and sunsets were easier, so I cashed in and became pretty good at those things. Smoking and drinking, and little did I know, just going against the grain for a little bit and just standing strong for what you believe in, it's worth it. I remember finally, one time, I said, I think I'm going to quit drinking for like a year. I think I made it 3.5 weeks. I gave myself an excuse. One of my buddies was having a birthday party, and I was going to do it with my buddy Ib, and I phoned him, and he said, no, I'm still doing it. What? You're not going to come drinking with us? No, I'm still going to carry on with this. And he stuck to it, man. He stuck to his guns, and he ended up being sober for a little over a year. He lost some weight. He enjoyed himself. And he stuck to his guns, and it was, he was one of the people that instantly I realized that you don't have to do the things that the better part of your friends are doing. You can do some shit for you too. 18. I wanted support in my fitness journey, but instead I have a vivid memory of that, having to lose 50 pounds, and I believed that doctors and the food pyramids were accurate. I believed that my family didn't have very great genetics to accompany going to the gym and abiding and fitting to that lifestyle, even though I had family members on the ones that I'm talking about on one side, but on the other side, very active in sports and, stuff like that. And yeah, just giving yourself an excuse. Genetics and big bones, and the doctor showed me this food pyramid, so I eat within this food pyramid. Well, it isn't fucking working. Change. Answering these questions has revealed it's simple. There's still things that I need to work on. There's still things that I don't know. But it's also revealed to me that I've overcome a lot of my own bullshit. mission's just starting, but the big thing that I understand about things, food, fitness, the gym, routine, and it all mishmashes together to be one thing. Like everyone says, going on a diet. You gotta quit talking about going on a diet. It's a lifestyle change. Well, yeah, I agree with that. It is a lifestyle change, but even more than that, like it's just what you fucking want to do. If you don't want to feel like you're not having a good time in your own skin, then be okay with asking for some help. Because, like, unless you went to school to understand nutrition and fitness and body, anything to do with the human body, like, how would you know? Give yourself a little bit of a break there. You're already working and going to school, some of us, and working full time and trying to be parents or trying to be boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands and wives. There's only so much time in the day, but you should still try your freaking best to cut some of that time out for yourself and ask for some help and some guidance and try to find some shit that works for you. Like a trainer will gladly take your money, and if you want to continue giving them your money and you want to continue not listening, they'll still gladly take your money. They're in business. The same as a gym. You sign up for that membership and it just auto pulls out of your bank account over and over and over again, and there it is, the bill slapping you in the face, and you feel guilty because you haven't gone in a couple of months. Well, like, some of those things is finding the accountability and looking yourself in the mirror and saying, shit, whoops. And some of it is just sheer, like, I don't know and I'm scared. All of those things are okay, but not to continue and then to give yourself an excuse and point the fingers at, well, this person, that person, or that person and this person. Absolutely not. It's still the person looking you in the mirror, and that's you. Like I said, for me, the mission's still in the beginning stages of this sucker. I've really enjoyed learning, but I've really enjoyed just putting my shield down and realizing that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to know that you're a work in progress. It's okay to start new, and it's okay to be worried and unsure. It's okay to be vulnerable. Anyway, that's all I got for now. That was a fun lesson that I got to do. Anyway, we'll see y'all in a little bit. 1 mile a day. I love you guys. Thank you for your support.